Welcome to our Mock Interview Pro series, where today we're diving into the world of conservation with some top tips and practice questions to help you ace your interview. If you're gearing up to become a conservator, you've come to the right place. Let's start with our first question, focusing on attention to detail in your work. Could you tell us about a time when your keen attention to detail made a real difference in a conservation project? They're asking this to see how your meticulous nature impacts the success of your projects. Here are some pointers to guide your response. Choose a project where detail orientation truly mattered. Focus on a specific aspect you honed in on and its importance. Describe your method for addressing that detail. Emphasize the positive results that came from your attentiveness. Keep it concise and concentrate on your personal input. Now, let's hear an example of how you might structure your answer.
During a restoration project on an 18th century painting, I found tiny cracks on the surface that could escalate if left untreated. I meticulously recorded the cracks' positions and sizes, then applied a carefully researched filler. This intervention halted further paint loss and preserved the painting's authenticity, earning high praise from the exhibition curators.
By the way, we're only covering a handful of questions in this video, but I've prepared a free PDF with all 30 top interview questions for Conservator. It also includes example answers and tips to help you prepare with confidence. The download link is just below. Can you share an experience where you faced a tough conservation problem and how you tackled it? This question aims to understand your problem-solving capabilities in challenging situations. Consider these tips while crafting your answer. Pick a particular project where you encountered a challenge. Clarify the challenge simply and effectively. Walk through the steps you used to overcome the issue. Highlight the results of your actions and any insights gained. Keep your explanation clear and to the point. Here's an example answer to illustrate this.
I once dealt with a deteriorating painting where the flaking paint was a major concern. To stabilize it without compromising the original material, I explored various conservation techniques, consulted peers, and ultimately used a reversible adhesive to secure the flakes. The painting was successfully stabilized and is now displayed free from further degradation.
Describe a situation where you collaborated on a conservation project with a team. What role did you play and how did you contribute? They're interested in your teamwork skills and how you perform in a collaborative setting. Let's look at some advice for structuring your response. Choose a project where teamwork was crucial. Define your role and responsibilities within the team. Highlight your contributions and the project's outcomes. Discuss how you worked with team members and any challenges faced. Reflect on what you learned and how it affected you. Here's a polished example of how to approach this question.
During a river habitat restoration project, I served as the lead botanist, tasked with identifying native plant species. By collaborating closely with my team, we chose appropriate plants and coordinated the planting strategy. Our efforts resulted in a 30% increase in native plant coverage, significantly boosting local biodiversity.
What would your course of action be if you discovered unexpected damage to an artifact while preparing it for conservation? This question assesses your ability to handle surprises and make informed decisions. Here's how you can frame your response. Start by evaluating the severity of the damage. Take detailed notes and photographs to document it thoroughly. Communicate your findings to the supervisor or conservation team immediately. Plan the next steps for appropriate conservation treatment. Consider the artifact's historical significance and future display. Here's an example of handling this situation effectively.
If I came across previously unseen damage, I'd begin by assessing its extent and documenting it comprehensively. Then I'd notify my supervisor without delay, and we would collaboratively decide on the best conservation approach.
Imagine you're faced with a situation where a client requests a treatment that might harm an artifact. How would you address this ethical dilemma? This explores your ethical judgment and communication skills when dealing with sensitive situations. Consider these strategies when framing your response. Clearly assess the treatment's risks and benefits. Communicate your concerns directly with the client. Suggest safer alternative solutions. Document your concerns and recommendations thoroughly. Prepare for a collaborative discussion with the client. Here's an example of how to navigate this challenging scenario.
I would start by evaluating the proposed treatment and pinpointing the risks to the artifact. Then I would arrange a meeting with the client to express my concerns and suggest viable alternatives that could meet their objectives while preserving the artifact's integrity.
Before we wrap up, remember you can get all 30 questions, example answers, and step-by-step tips in a handy PDF. Totally free. Just grab it below.